International Business Machines Corporation is an American multinational technology and consulting corporation, with headquarters in Armonk, New York. IBM manufactures and markets computer hardware, middleware and software, and offers infrastructure, hosting and consulting services in areas ranging from mainframe computers to nanotechnology. The company originated in 1911 as the Computing Tabulating Recording Company through the consolidation of the Tabulating Machine Company, the International Time Recording Company, the Computing Scale Company and the Bundy Manufacturing Company. Center was renamed International Business Machines in 1924, a name which Thomas J. Watson first used for a Center Canadian subsidiary. The initialism IBM followed. Securities analysts nicknamed the company Big Blue for its size and common use of the color in products, packaging and its logo. In 2012, Fortune ranked IBM the second largest U.S. firm in terms of number of employees, the fourth largest in terms of market capitalization, the ninth most profitable, and the 19th largest firm in terms of revenue. Globally, the company was ranked the 31st largest in terms of revenue by Forbes for 2011. Other rankings for 2011-2012 include 1 Company for Leaders, 1 Green Company in the United States, 2 Best Global Brand, 2 Most Respected Company, 5 Most Admired Company, and 18 Most Innovative Company. IBM has 12 research laboratories worldwide, bundled into IBM Research. As of 2013 update, the company held the record for most patents generated by a business for 22 consecutive years. Its employees have garnered 5 Nobel Prizes, 6 Turing Awards, 10 National Medals of Technology and 5 National Medals of Science. Notable company inventions include the automated teller machine, the floppy disk, the hard disk drive, the magnetic stripe card, the relational database, the universal product code, the financial swap, the Fortran programming language, Sabre airline reservation system, dynamic random access memory, copper wiring in semiconductors, the silicon on insulator semiconductor manufacturing process, and Watson artificial intelligence. IBM has constantly evolved since its inception. Over the past decade, it has steadily shifted its business mix by exiting commoditizing markets such as PCs, hard disk drives and drums and focusing on higher value, more profitable markets such as business intelligence, data analytics, business continuity, security, cloud computing, virtualization and green solutions, resulting in a higher quality revenue stream and higher profit margins. IBM's operating margin expanded from 16.8% in 2004 to 24.3% in 2013, and net profit margins expanded from 9.0% in 2004 to 16.5% in 2013. IBM acquired Connexa and SPSS and PwC's consulting business, spinning off companies like printer manufacturer Lexmark, and selling off product lines like its personal computer and x86 server businesses to Lenovo. In 2014, IBM announced that it would go fabless by offloading IBM microelectronics semiconductor manufacturing to global foundries, a leader in advanced technology manufacturing, citing that semiconductor manufacturing is a capital-intensive business which is challenging to operate without scale. This transition had progressed as of early 2015. Update. On August 6, 2015, IBM announced that it will buy Merge Healthcare Inc. for $1 billion. History. In the 1880s, technologies emerged that would ultimately form the core of what would become International Business Machines. Julius E. Pitrate patented the computing scale in 1885, Alexander Day invented the dial recorder, Herman Hollerith patented the electric tabulating machine, and Willard Bundy invented a time clock to record a worker's arrival and departure time on a paper tape in 1889. On June 16, 1911, Their four companies were consolidated in New York State by Charles Ranlett Flint to form the Computing Tabulating Recording Company. CTR's business office was in Endicott. The individual companies owned by Center continued to operate using their established names until the businesses were integrated in 1933 and the holding company eliminated. The four companies had 1,300 employees and offices and plants in Endicott and Binghamton, New York, Dayton, Ohio, Detroit, Michigan, Washington, D.C., and Toronto, Ontario. They manufactured machinery for sale and lease, ranging from commercial scales and industrial time recorders, meat and cheese slices, to tabulators and punched cards. Thomas J. Watson, Sr., fired from the National Cash Register Company by John Henry Patterson, called on Flint and, in 1914, was offered Center. Watson joined Center as general manager then. 11 months later, was made president when court cases relating to his time at NCR were resolved. Having learned Patterson's pioneering business practices, Watson proceeded to put the stamp of NCR onto CTR's companies. He implemented sales conventions, generous sales incentives, a focus on customer service, an insistence on well-groomed, dark-suited salesmen, and had an evangelical fervor for instilling company pride and loyalty in every worker. His favorite slogan, "Think," became a mantra for each company's employees. During Watson's first 4 years, revenues more than doubled to $9 million and the company's operations expanded to Europe, South America, Asia and Australia. Watson had never liked the clumsy hyphenated title of the center, and chose to replace it with the more expansive title, International Business Machines. First as a name for a 1917 Canadian subsidiary, then as a line in advertisements. For example, the McClaw's magazine, V53, May 1921, has a full-page ad with, at the bottom, International Time Recording Company of New York, subsidiary of Computing Tabulating Recording Company. New York makers of International Business Machines. Finally, February 14, 1924, for Center itself. 1930 to 1979. In 1937, IBM's tabulating equipment enabled organizations to process unprecedented amounts of data, its clients including the U.S. government, during its first effort to maintain the employment records for 26 million people pursuant to the Social Security Act, and the Third Reich, largely through the German subsidiary Die Homage. During the Second World War, the company produced small arms for the American war effort. IBM provided translation services for the Nuremberg trials. In 1947, IBM opened its first office in Bahrain, as well as an office in Saudi Arabia to service the needs of the Arabian-American oil company that would grow to become Saudi Business Machines. In 1952, Thomas Watson, Sr., stepped down after almost 40 years at the company helm. His son, Thomas Watson, Jr., was named president. In 1956, the company demonstrated the first practical example of artificial intelligence when Arthur L. Samuel of IBM's Poughkeepsie, New York, laboratory programmed an IBM 704 not merely to play checkers but learn from its own experience. In 1957, the Fortran scientific programming language was developed. In 1961, Thomas J. Watson, Jr., was elected chairman of the board and Albert L. Williams became company president. The same year, IBM developed the Sabre reservation system for American Airlines and introduced the highly successful Selectric typewriter. In 1963, IBM employees and computers helped NASA track the orbital flight of the Mercury astronauts. A year later, it moved its corporate headquarters from New York City to Armonk, New York. The latter half of the 1960s saw IBM continue its support of space exploration, participating in the 1965 Gemini flights. 1966 Saturn flights and 1969 lunar mission. On April 7, 1964, IBM announced the first computer system family, the revolutionary IBM System 360. Sold between 1964 and 1978, it spanned the complete range of commercial and scientific applications from large to small, allowing companies for the first time to upgrade to models with greater computing capability without having to rewrite their application. In 1974, IBM engineer George J. Laurer developed the Universal Product Code. On October 11, 1973, IBM introduced the IBM 3666, a laser scanning point-of-sale barcode reader which would become the backbone of retail checkouts. On June 26, 1974, at Marsh's Supermarket in Troy, Ohio, a pack of Wrigley's Juicy Fruit chewing gum was the first ever product scanned. It is now on display at the Smithsonian Institution's National Museum of American History in Washington, D.C. In the late 1970s, IBM underwent a wave of internal convulsions between a management faction wanting to concentrate on its bread-and-butter mainframe business and one desiring to expand into the emerging personal computer industry. 1980 present IBM and the World Bank first introduced financial swaps to the public in 1981 when they entered into a swap agreement. The IBM PC, originally designated IBM 5150, was introduced in 1981, and it soon became an industry standard. In 1991, IBM sold printer manufacturer Lexmark. In 1993, IBM posted a $8 billion loss, at the time the biggest in American corporate history. In 2002, IBM acquired PwC Consulting. In 2003, it initiated a project to redefine company values. Using its JAM technology, it hosted a 3-day internet-based online discussion of key business issues with 50,000 employees. Results were data mined with sophisticated text analysis software for common themes. 3 emerged, expressed as dedication to every client's success, innovation that matters, for our company and for the world, and trust and personal responsibility in all relationships. Another 3-day jam took place in 2004, with 52,000 employees discussing ways to implement company values in practice. In 2005, the company sold its personal computer business to Lenovo, and in the same year it agreed to acquire Micromaster. A year later, IBM launched Secure Blue, a low-cost hardware designed for data encryption that can be built into a microprocessor. In 2009, it acquired software company SPSS Inc. Later in 2009, IBM's Blue Gene supercomputing program was awarded the National Medal of Technology and Innovation by U.S. President Barack Obama. In 2011, IBM gained worldwide attention for its artificial intelligence program Watson, which was exhibited on Jeopardy! where it won against game show champions Ken Jennings and Brad Rutter. As of 2012 update, IBM had been the top annual recipient of U.S. patents for 20 consecutive years. IBM's closing value of $214 billion on September 29, 2011 surpassed Microsoft's $213.2 billion valuation. It was the first time since 1996 that IBM's closing price exceeded that of its software rival. On August 16, 2012, IBM announced that it had entered an agreement to buy Texas Memory Systems. Later that month, IBM announced it has agreed to buy Connexa. In June 2013, IBM acquired SoftLayer Technologies, a web hosting service, in a deal worth around $2 billion, and in July 2014 the company announced a partnership with Apple Inc. in mobile enterprise. On August 11, 2014, IBM announced it had acquired the business operations of Lighthouse Security Group, LLC, a premier cloud security services provider. Financial terms were not disclosed. In September 2014, it was announced that IBM would sell its x86 server division to Lenovo for a fee of $2.1 billion. That same year, Reuters referred to IBM as largely a computer services supplier. In November 2014, IBM and Twitter announced a global landmark partnership which they claim will change how institutions and businesses understand their customers, markets and trends. With Twitter's data on people, and IBM's cloud-based analytics and customer engagement platforms, they plan to help enterprises make better, more informed decisions. The partnership will give enterprises and institutions a way to make sense of Twitter's mountain of data using IBM's Watson supercomputer. In August 2015, IBM agreed to purchase Merge Healthcare for $1 billion. Incorporating Merge's imaging management platform with its Watson data analytics tool. The following month, IBM acquired Strong Loop, an API developer, in order to position itself for the coming Internet of Things. On October 28, 2015, IBM announced its acquisition of digital assets from The Weather Company, a holding company of Bain Capital, the Blackstone Group and NBC Universal, which owns the Weather Channel, including its weather data platforms, websites and mobile apps. The acquisition seeks to use Watson for weather analytics and predictions. The acquisition does not include the Weather Channel itself, which will enter into a long-term licensing agreement with IBM for use of its data. Rank. In 2012, Fortune ranked IBM the second largest U.S. firm in terms of number of employees, the fourth largest in terms of market capitalization, the ninth most profitable, and the 19th largest firm in terms of revenue. Globally, the company was ranked the 31 largest firm in terms of revenue by Forbes for 2011. Other rankings for 2011-2012 include the following: 1 Company for Leaders, 2 Green Company in the U.S., 2 Best Global Brand, 2 Most Respected Company, 5 Most Admired Company, 18 Most Innovative Company. For 2012, IBM's brand was valued by Interbrand at $75.5 billion. For 2012, Vault ranked IBM Global Technology Services 1 in tech consulting for cybersecurity, operations and implementation, and public sector, and 2 in outsourcing. For 2015, Forbes ranked IBM 5 as the world's most valuable brands. Corporate affairs. IBM is headquartered in Armonk, New York. The 283,000-square-foot glass and stone building sits on a 25-acre parcel amid a 432-acre former apple orchard the company purchased in the mid-1950s. The company's 14-member board of directors is responsible for overall corporate management. As of Kathy Black's resignation in November 2010, its membership included Alan J. P. Belder, 08, William R. Brody, 07, Kenneth Cheno, 98, Michael L. Eskew, 05, Shirley Ann Jackson, 05, Andrew N. Liveris, 10, James McNerney, Jr., 09, James W. Owens, 06, Samuel J. Parmisano, 00, Joan Sparrow, 04, Sidney Tauriel, 01, and Lorenzo Zambrano, 03. On January 21, 2014, IBM announced that company executives would forego bonuses for fiscal year 2013. The move came as the firm reported a 5% drop in sales and 1% decline in net profit over 2012. It also committed to a $1.2 billion plus expansion of its data center and cloud storage business, including the development of 15 new data centers. After 10 successive quarters of flat or sliding sales under Chief Executive Virginia Rometty, IBM is being forced to look at new approaches. Said Rometty, "We've got to reinvent ourselves like we've done in prior generations." Facilities. The company has 12 research labs worldwide, bundled under IBM Research and headquartered at the Thomas J. Watson Research Center in New York. Others include the Almaden Lab in California, Austin Lab in Texas, Australia Lab in Melbourne, Brazil Lab in São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro, China Lab in Beijing and Shanghai, Ireland Lab in Dublin, Haifa Lab in Israel, India Lab in Delhi and Bangalore, Tokyo Lab, Zurich Lab and Africa Lab in Nairobi. Other major campus installations include towers in Montreal, Paris, and Atlanta, software labs in Raleigh-Durham, Rome, Krakow and Toronto, Johannesburg, Seattle, and facilities in Hakozaki and Yamato. The company also operates the IBM Scientific Center, Hursley House, the Canada Head Office Building, IBM Rochester, and the Summers Office Complex. The company's contributions to architecture and design, which include works by Eero Saarinen, Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, and I.M. Pei, have been recognized. Van der Rohe's 330 North Wabash building in Chicago, the original center of the company's research division post-World War II, was recognized with the 1990 Honor Award from the National Building Museum. IBM Building in West Boca Raton, Florida. The Boca Corporate Center and campus was originally one of IBM's research labs where the PC was created. IBM Rochester, nicknamed the Big Blue Zoo. IBM Avenida America building in Madrid, Spain. Thomas J. Watson Research Center in Yorktown Heights, New York, designed by Eero Saarinen. Summers Office Complex, designed by I.M. Pei. IBM Japan Makuhari Technical Center, designed by Yoshio Taniguchi. IBM Haifa Research Lab, Israel.